Good morning. Right back there is where we tented last night. And this is the bridge we're supposed to cross this morning, which is non-existent. So we're gonna go down and cross this broken tree down here. Hopefully successfully. And then get on with our day. Well, we made it across the log safely. And now we're hiking up the mountain, and it's a beautiful morning. Still some snow up there supplying all these creeks we're crossing. Amazing out here. You see the waterfall over there coming down from the snow? There's the snow. Waterfall, waterfall, waterfall. All the way down. Yeah, pretty amazing. I don't know if any of that range over there looks familiar at all. Maybe that little area over there. It's hard to see through the trees, I know. Some of that, maybe back through there. But anyway, that's where I was just at filming the waterfalls. They're down, you can't really see them, they're behind the trees. But those are the mountains up there that the waterfalls were coming out of. And we just spent the last 3 hours climbing. And now we're up here at the way above where the waterfalls were. So that was a long morning climb, and now we're gonna descend 3,000 feet. Now we're gonna have to climb another 3,000 feet. So that's what Washington's looking like lately. We did the same thing yesterday. We got up, went from 3,000 to 6,000 feet, and dilly-dallied around up and down for a while, and then we did from 6,000 down to 3,000 and tented. And today's gonna look a little bit similar. So we're definitely enjoying the views, though. It's a gorgeous place, but yeah, you know, hiking could be a little more level. All right, heading downhill now. Just walked out into a new expanse. Well, we got to the river, and I think we found our place for lunch, where we're gonna eat lunch. But look how clear that water is. Wow, that's amazing. What a awesome river. And a pretty cool bridge too. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go down here in the shade, find a nice big rock to sit on and eat up. This beautiful little creek was a great place to stop and get some water, soak my foot. My left foot has been bothering me a little. And as we were sitting here, we saw a few raindrops in the water, which have now subsided, but we know it's supposed to rain tonight. So I think we're real close to some tent sites, and we're probably just going to go up and set up there before the rain hits. And we're off this morning. Well, it's a dreary, drizzly morning. They were supposed to get rain last night and today. And we got some, but it wasn't much in the scheme of things. And who knows, maybe we'll still get a little more. There's a couple of little dark patches in the sky, but not a lot, so we'll see what happens. It's just keeping it cool, but it's humid in there, and keeping it a little darker than it would normally be this time of day. It's probably only 6:30 right now or something, but it's usually a little brighter than this. Yeah, so we're starting the day out with a nice big climb again. We did about maybe a third of it yesterday, 2/3 left today. And somewhere up here in a few miles is our first water source. And I think it's also a river crossing that we maybe are going to have to, a river that we're going to have to ford. I think there's a log. The note said there's a log that you can go across, but some people felt like it was really slippery, and that was without the rain. So we'll see what it looks like, but we might be tromping through it, getting our feet cold and wet. We'll find out. You see any of those clouds in the sky back there? Doesn't look too bad. Should be a good day. This is sort of a replay of yesterday. Getting towards the top of the climb, and just magnificent. Look at the color of that lake. Wow. And of course, another humongous waterfall coming from all the way to the top of that mountain where the snow is, all the way down to the lake. Wow, just magnificent. And I say getting to the top of the climb, I actually have no idea. I'm probably 1,000 feet away, to be honest. In another hour, I will find out. Well, I always hate it when I have a story to tell and no video to go with it, but here's what's been going on since the last little snippet that you just saw. So, got up over the pass very shortly after that last shot, and just took a 5-minute break, and then headed down the other side. It's filled with clouds over there, and I mean within 5 minutes the temperature dropped drastically, and my little cheap thermometer said 31 degrees. I mean, it was a little chilly this morning, but not even close to that, you know, maybe mid-high 40s or something. Anyway, so just kept trucking, trying to stay warm, and pretty soon the drizzle turned into little ice droplets, and then kind of back to drizzle, and a couple little snowflakes in there, and it stayed at that 31 for probably, for sure, an hour. Probably longer than that, probably an hour and a half or so. So really cold. Then got down to this creek that we knew was going to be kind of a hard river crossing. It's a pretty heavy flowing creek, and there's no bridge. So there are some logs down at the end that were all kind of built up, and we were able to cross those. It was just too dang cold to take my hands out and try to video. Anyway, by the time we got down to that creek and we crossed, it was up to about maybe 36 degrees. As we'd kept descending, it had gotten slightly warmer. The sun even came out just for a few minutes. And now, I just looked at my thermometer, it says 39, which feels warm. I mean, you know, I can have my hands out right now and they don't just instantly freeze up. So anyway, yeah, we'll see what the rest of the day holds. But we're just back to drizzle now. All day it's been raining, sleeting, a little bit of hail, and a little bit of almost snow-like stuff. But it is full on snowing now. In fact, it actually lit up almost immediately when I started the video. It was really coming down. Wow, I can't even believe that. It was supposed to be the 50s today. Oh, snowflake landed right on the lens. Ah, craziness. Well, we're trucking along. I don't know if we're gonna make it 20 miles or more, but we're doing our best. We gotta find some water and then a tent site. So hopefully that's gonna come soon, because I think we're pretty cold. Plus we didn't really have very good lunch. It was too cold to stop. We found a little spot where there wasn't much wind, and we ducked in and just literally just scarfed down a bunch of little sausages and some handfuls of Fritos. Just tried to get as much fat as we could, just to try to keep ourselves warm, and threw our gloves back on and kept on walking. So anyway, speaking of that, I gotta put my glove back on. Well, just about 3 or 4 minutes after we videoed the snow on the other side there, there was a nice bolt of lightning and loud thunder. It scared us. And about 2 minutes after that, we went right over the top of the mountain. So here we are going down the other side, and it's snowing heavier and heavier, starting to just barely dust. And so yeah, we're gonna just go down, as fast and safely as we can, and just try to find the first water probably and tent site we can, or I don't know, I guess if things get better, maybe we'll go a little further. We'll see what happens. Wow, it's freaking snowing in August. Okay, good morning. This is going to be a boring looking video, but I just want to show you the ice on the tent. It froze last night big time. It was freezing before we even got to camp here. It was 30 degrees on my thermometer. And we got in here and we froze all night long, just trying to stay warm somehow. And now we're getting up and we're going to make a mad dash for town, which is about 11.5 miles away. And then I don't know what we're going to do. It's not really town. There's a little pass where we're picking up a box, and then we'll probably have to, either if it warmed up, we'll head back out, or maybe we'll try to get a hitch into actual town and stay or something. But it's going to be super cold, and I doubt that I take my hands out of my mittens the whole day. So this might be the last you hear from me until we get there. So anyway, the thermometer says it's 35 degrees here in the tent. I can only imagine what it is out there. Whew. All right, here we go. That pole's gonna be cold. Oh, a little bit of sunlight. There's some promise. Hey, so I've been hiking for a few hours now, and have another, whatever it is, 2.5 miles to go to get to Stevens Pass, where our box is at, a resupply box. And as you can tell by the weather, it's warmed up. It was, last night was so cold. It was for sure in the 20s and probably way down in the 20s. But everything was iced up this morning, and the tent was iced up, as you saw it. And anyway, so we hiked for quite a long time with everything on. All the layers we have to stay warm. And then it got to about 40 degrees or so. The sun was out almost immediately this morning, which was nice, even though we hardly saw it. We're in the trees mostly, but it was nice to walk into it every once in a while, get a little tiny bit of heat. But now we're up to 50-ish, and so it's better. We are going to look at the weather real close, of course, when we get into town, but we just crossed paths with a guy, kind of a local guy, who told us that the weather says, no more of that. So that was kind of a freak thing, and we shouldn't have any more of that in the near future for at least a couple weeks. And so, we'll see. But probably that means that we'll just get in and do our thing today and then get back out and start hiking again today. And in the meantime, we've been hiking up towards this thing I'm about to show you. We hiked by the bottom of the ski lift, and now apparently we're hiking to the top of the ski lift. Sure would have been a lot easier to just take the ski lift. Well, we're almost there. This is Stevens Pass down here. It's obviously a ski place, like a lot of places around here. There's some lifts over there, and they go up, where we were. And there's the lodge, right through there. The lodge, which is closed because they're renovating, so you can't stay there. But apparently, either in the lodge or some other building down here, there maybe is a restaurant and or a cafe that's open sometimes. May not be open today. We'll just have to find out. But we have to go somewhere different, so we'll go up ahead a little ways to, I don't know, the season pass area or something. And that's where we'll pick up our resupply box we sent ourselves, and then we'll find out from there what's open, if anything. All right, we're at Stevens Pass. We've been here for a couple hours. Got our box, did everything, talked to some other hikers here, some who are getting off the trail for good. We actually were able to get our resupply and then leave the box here for us to pick up when we come back, because we're going out. Remember, we're doing this out and back thing, so we'll be back here in like 6 days. So we wanted to throw away that extra food like we sometimes have to. It'll be here. We can just pick it up when we get back. So yes, this is supposed to be a gorgeous section, and we can't wait to do it. While we were here, there's this whole area out back. We were able to put our stuff on the railings out there and dry it. Everything that was icy and wet from last night, the tent, sleeping bags, and everything. And a little cafe right in here, and we ate there, and we're ready to head out. All right, had a good little break and a few snacks, turkey sandwich and a double scoop of ice cream cone, and I don't know, a bunch of other junk. And now we're heading along. We're learning how to stay alive in avalanche terrain, just in case it snows 7 feet tonight. You never know. All right, well, here's where we found a tent last night, and it was good and bad. It was a nice spot, nice little place to sit there and log and eat. It was all great, but it got very cold last night. Not as cold as the night before, but colder than it's been lately, and so it was not a great night's sleep. And also there were mice trying to get our food, so we had to battle that. So yeah, I don't know, not a great night's sleep, but we'll get rolling today, and hopefully we'll make up for it tonight. Not sure if we're right at the top of our climb, but we're real close. It's been a long climb, and we think, pretty sure, that is Mount Baker right there, which it almost has to be, but my track record with those guesses. Well, I love to keep making these guesses just for the humor value. We looked at the map, and that's almost certainly Glacier Peak. So I couldn't have gotten it right. Anyway, all right, Glacier Peak. If it is, we will actually go up here and wind around, and tomorrow we will go right by it to the left, so we'll get a better view. It's interesting, we're not seeing any other PCT hikers out here. Usually a couple, if not more than a couple, of hikers will pass us in the evening after we've set up our tent. And then, if we take a break during the day, somebody will pass us, or if we're moving fast like we were this morning, we might pass somebody. But we've seen no PCT hikers out here, and we kind of thought that might be the case for a couple of reasons. One, you know, there's no good way to get off the trail here. So most people aren't doing this. If they're hiking there, they don't want to hike all the way out here and then hike all the way back. So they're skipping it. And another reason, some people who are doing it don't want to go out and back, so they're going out to they're hiking out a little ways, and then they're doing some weird roundabout where they skip most of the PCT and just hike some other forest roads and trails and different things and kind of work their way around the trail. And it's kind of hard to explain, but anyway, you know, that's sort of, it keeps them walking, but they're not doing the PCT, you know, so we didn't want to do that. And then the other reason is that a lot of people are just getting off the trail. You know, when I was in Cascade Locks, whenever that was, a week and a half ago now, there were already people there talking about, you know, they're done. They're just, that was the end for them. The fires and having to shuttle around all over the place. They didn't want to mess with it, so they're just going to call it a day. And when we were at Stevens Pass yesterday at that lodge, there were a couple of guys there who called it a day. I might have mentioned that yesterday, but just said, you know, we've gone about as far as we need to go. We're not going to go through this whole thing shuttling all over the place just to do the last 30 miles. And so, you know, people have been out here hiking for months and they're done. So they're heading home. So anyway, we don't have a lot of company out here. When we come back here in a day, let's see, a day and a half, we should reach the end, and then we'll turn around and come back. We may see a person or two. We'll have to see. And then it'll be interesting to see, because we'll have to shuttle around this fire, and then everything that was closed, except for this fire, has reopened. That's our understanding. So once we shuttle around this fire and get dropped off, or we get to the little town of Stehekin, which apparently you can only get to by boat, by ferry, we should be able to hike straight through to the terminus to Canada. So we'll see if, you know, we see more people at that point. Almost to the top of Grizzly Peak. Wow, amazing out there. Hey, well, it was a good day today. We saw lots of neat stuff. You know, we're both really tired from last night. My back was really bothering me, so I did not get much sleep. And then, of course, the mice. So we, you know, it was a hard day because of that, but we're going to get some good sleep tonight and make up for it. So sitting down here, you can probably hear it in the stream. Right in the middle, I got my foot in here, just icing it a little bit. Got some water in our bags. Where are they at? There they are. So we'll go up and filter that to use for tonight and tomorrow. Have some dinner, probably fall asleep early. Good night.